I am just about to talk to Al Melchior for his You, Me and an Album podcast. Bit nervous as always, but I have just found a really cool thing, which is my 1995 diary. This is relevant to our conversation. Hello, lovely to meet you properly. We've been talking for years, but me talking at you mostly. Yeah, how's it going?
All right, yeah, let's talk about Belly. Do you remember how you were introduced to the band, how you were introduced to this album?
Picture the scene. It's 1995. A teenage girl goes into her local library in a town called Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk. She's a lonely child. She's got two siblings, gets on with medium well. A few friends at school, not many. Perceived as the weirdo, loves reading, loves music, plays loads of instruments, doesn't really hang out in big groups, nothing like that. So the library was one of the places I would go and feel very comfortable. I actually found my diary from 1995. It's in my hand. When I opened it up thinking, I can find out if I said anything about this album in here, then I remembered you can't, click find and type a word in and do that with a paper diary. So obviously I haven't reread that entire diary to find exactly when it was, but I know it's 1995. I went into the library in Bury St Edmunds and I was browsing the cassettes, because you used to be able to rent, we probably still can, rent cassettes, rent CDs. So I was browsing the cassettes and I picked up two albums, Belly Star and Belly King. I had never heard of this band before. They looked cool and it was a cool sounding name to me. And then I went home and listened, and I know that I heard Star first because when I was listening in preparation for this on the weekend, that was the one that made me go, and I had all those feelings again that I had as a sort of the mind-opening feeling you can get from a wonderful album that's about to change your life. And I just remember that I heard Tanya's voice and I went, I could do that. And the reason I thought that is not because she makes it sound easy, she's an incredible singer, but on the radio at that time, in my memory now, it was all diva sounding, like loads of R&B. There's a lot of that sort of British techno stuff, like Too Unlimited and stuff, which I love, I will say. There's a lot of great stuff, and the end sort of ravey kind of dance tunes with big vocals on. They didn't sound like something I could possibly emulate. And I already knew I wanted to be a singer. I'd known for ages. And I just thought, well, I can sing whatever I want to, but I will never be a singer because singers sound like that other thing. And so, yeah, it was sort of mind-bending in all sorts of ways. And it's a brilliant album and the band are great and all of that. But that's why it just grabbed me. I just thought, well, she knows who she is. That seems like a great thing to aspire to in life. It's not clear who contributes exactly what to Throwing Muses when it's the two of them. It's the two of them together are Throwing Muses at that time, obviously. But I think it's interesting, to hear Tanya on her own terms in Belly. And can we just sort of take a moment to applaud someone who's got the balls to quit not only Throwing Muses but also the Breeders to start their own band? How cool is that? Can you imagine? Yeah, you just got so many songs you can't be held in by other people's bands. I really think that's brilliant. The coolest. The fan community, the Shimmer community on Facebook, I just really respect the fact that they have, for so many years, supported and, spent time discussing and supporting and encouraging Tanya, Kristin, and everyone in the different bands under that sort of umbrella. And that's just a really wonderful, heartwarming example of how music fans make things happen. Because, Belly, I believe, they all have jobs, they're grown-ups with families, and there's a lot of different things going on in everybody's lives, but they still keep coming back together to make music now. And I think that's because of that ongoing support. If you don't have people who want you to keep making stuff and can support you and encourage you and buy the things so that you can actually do it, then we're just shouting into the internet these days going, well, no one really wants it. So if you love things, make sure that the artists that you love know that in whatever form that takes. It doesn't have to be buying their things, but it can be being on their communities or whatever, just encouraging. Like I say, with the Shimmer community, I just think the people in that community, brilliant. And I'm so lucky to have my own version of that. But I remember seeing the Shimmer thing years and years ago and just thinking, wow, those people are so cool. They really go out of their way to make sure that that band know that they are loved and that their music is important. It's a gift. It really is. And it shows the power of a community.